everyone, my name is Courtney and I'm a certified prenatal yoga instructor. Today I have 5 poses that can feel really nice on the hips when you're pregnant. I am 6 weeks postpartum, so I was just freshly pregnant, so I feel you. And if you'd like, you can use a pillow, or if you have a bolster at home, it can be helpful to have a prop, but no prop is necessary if you don't want a prop. So we're gonna get started in a seated position. And we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly pose, or in Sanskrit, Baddha Konasana. So the soles of our feet will come together. Maybe you give your feet a little massage or connection to the earth. And if your hips are tight, you can always place blocks underneath the knees, or you can send your feet outward, or if you want to intensify the stretch, you can bring heels toward your center body. And then we'll bring our hands behind us for some support, planting our feet on the ground. Knees come apart a little bit for some windshield wipers. This is another nice way to open up the hips. Whether you're pregnant or not. And sometimes in pregnancy, we can get that pain running down our leg. So some nice figure fours, and you can do this seated or standing. Some nice stretch to get that outer leg, the outer hip. Remembering to breathe, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And switching sides. You can hold these poses for as long or as little as you like. I do suggest at least holding them a few breaths so you can get some benefits from the stretch. You can also do this in a chair. I just like to give lots of options because in pregnancy you can feel a little different every day. One version might feel better than the other. And then at this time, you're welcome to grab your bolster, or you don't have to use one. We're gonna place it in front of us. And our knees are gonna come wide. We gotta make space for baby. And we're gonna walk our hands out, resting one cheek on the bolster, allowing your body to be supported by the bolster. And this is called child's pose or balasana. This is a really nice hip opener, and I found it was very helpful with digestion. So if anyone is dealing with those types of things, this is a great pose. And then after a couple breaths, you can turn to the other cheek. And if your hips are feeling especially tight, you can always bring the bolster underneath your seat. And that way, it lifts up the hips. There's not as much strain on the hips. You can always come into child's this way. And pressing your palms into the ground. It's always nice to do grounding poses when pregnant. You know, there's so many changes happening in our body. It's just a nice way to bring ourselves back down to earth, anchor down. And after a few breaths in child's pose, we can come into gate pose. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show one variation of gate pose. If you're familiar with other versions, please feel free to take those. If it feels right, if you feel called. And we're gonna extend the right leg out, because this video is really want to focus on the hips. And you might feel a nice stretch down your inner thigh. Maybe you stay, maybe you add a sway. This is another great hip opener, opening up that pelvis, preparing us for the big day. And breathing, filling up. On the inhale, exhale, release. And we're gonna extend the other leg long. Maybe you add a little rock. And again, everyone has a version of gate pose, so maybe you're here. Or if you just worked out and your spine is nice and warmed up, you can always come into another version of gate pose, getting into that side body. But right here is plenty. You're still stretching out the hips. But if you do go up, just make sure that spine is nice and warmed up. Maybe you take some cat-cow. Safety is our priority. All right, and there we have it. 5 poses that might help your hips during pregnancy, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Congrats.